Eshani, aka Total Makeup Junkie 101. So today I have a video that you guys have been asking me to do for a while, which is the reason I picked up this product. This is on the new Colored Raine Queen of Hearts eyeshadow palette. Colored Raine is an indie brand that got really popular from their liquid lipsticks, and I know you guys are gonna run down to the comments and ask me where the heck my Colored Raine liquid lipstick video is, because I've been promising that to you guys for quite a while. I have no excuses. You guys just know the way it goes. When there are limited edition products that are time sensitive, I feel the need to get those videos out first. This is not a limited edition product as far as I know, but it is a new product. But don't worry, that liquid lipstick video is still coming. I've had my Colored Raine liquid lipsticks sitting in a little basket on the side for me to review for 4 months now. It's coming, I promise. But today we are going to be strictly talking about the eyeshadow palette. Colored Raine does have some individual shadows that they sell in individual pans that you can pop into your Z palette. I have never tried those, but I'm all about getting an eyeshadow palette because I feel like that's the way that you are going to get the best bang for your buck. Here's what the outer sleeve packaging of the eyeshadow palette looks like. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I really wish that they had included this design on the palette itself. As you can tell from my struggles, it is really hard to actually slip the palette out, but this is what the actual palette looks like. It's just a plain matte black. This is just such a beautiful print. Had it been printed on the front of this, I would have fallen completely in love with it. But the packaging is nice. It is in a cardboard, very sturdy feeling packaging, and the black is kind of rubbered, almost like NARS packaging, so it is going to collect makeup and dirt. The back of the palette has this giant label here that has all of the information you need to know, like where the product is made, all of the ingredients, and all of that kind of stuff. I picked this palette up directly off of the Colored Raine website for $50, and I believe I did pay $6 for shipping, so I paid close to $60 for this palette total. The palette itself is magnetized. It does have a nice size mirror at the top, and then these are the shadows you are getting inside. You're getting 12 different colors of eyeshadow. You're getting some that are in a very metallic, what I would almost call a foiled finish, and then you're getting quite a few matte shades as well. Overall, this palette does lean quite warm with a lot of these kind of orangey and kind of rusty toned colors, but there's also quite a nice mix of true purples or like taupes in here as well. Like there's this beautiful kind of silvered taupey shade here, and then this kind of grayish darker taupe down here that does kind of cool the palette down. Overall, I am really happy with the mix of warm and cool colors. I think they did an excellent job. Now, before I talk about the actual quality and the performance of these shadows, let me go ahead and show you guys swatches of every color you get in this palette. So here is the top row of this palette swatched. From left to right, we have Crown, Royal Highness, Your Majesty, Princess, Empress, and Queen Mother. You can see 4 out of the 6 colors in this row do have a shimmery or very metallic foiled finish. 2 of them are matte. And here's the bottom row of the palette. From left to right, we have Air, Royal Prerogative, Noblewoman, Ladyship, Duchess, and Dethrone. Out of the 6 colors in this row, 4 of them are matte, 2 of them are foiled or shimmery, and that one shade Ladyship, which is in the middle, that matte burgundy that I was so excited about, you can see that one is quite patchy. Now, with the exception of Ladyship, I do have to say that the quality of the matte shadows is excellent. They are all very buttery, finely milled. They blend so beautifully on the eyes. Surprisingly, they don't kick up a lot of powder, even if you use them with a fluffy brush. They are definitely some of the most beautiful matte shadows I've ever used. I would very much compare these to my Viseart ones, just because I've had absolutely no problems blending in application, in wear. Now, I keep saying with the exception of Ladyship, which is the color honestly I was the most excited about in this palette, because I feel like a matte burgundy plum color is always the color that I reach for when I see it in a palette like this. But that one was patchy upon application. It is a little stiffer and a little bit harder to blend. It's not impossible by any means, but I did find it a little bit trickier to work with than the rest of the mattes. Now to discuss the super shimmery or almost foiled shadows. So the ones that I feel like are particularly extremely foiled would be these two shades up here and then this one down here. The other shimmery shadows are this white one here, this one here, as well as this one up here. I think all of the foiled or metallic shadows are stunning in this palette. Absolutely stunning. They all have a super smooth, creamy, blendable, pigmented formula. The ones that I said were the most foiled, which like I said, these ones and this one, I feel like are a little just like creamier and denser. So I find those to be a little bit more tricky to pick up with a brush, but you can use them with a really stiff, flat brush. The other ones like this shade, and this shade can be picked up with almost any brush. I've used them even with kind of fluffier brushes and they work amazingly. The shimmery colors will give you a little bit of fallout under your eyes if you go to start blending them with a fluffier brush. I think it has something to do with the fact that it's just a thicker, creamier, denser pigment. I haven't found that these crease on me, any of them, and I do have oily eyelids, but I always use my eyeshadow with a primer. The actual color selection of the palette is absolutely beautiful. I love how well this was thought out because you get 6 foily shadows, you get 6 mattes, you get everything from a nice light matte color that I use as an underbrow highlight. Now the darker colors are not matte. The darkest matte color you get is this dark brown, which isn't a super dark chocolate or like a black, which I do think would have been nice, but I'm still very happy with the color range. For a palette that only has 12 colors, I think these were very nicely thought out. I love the kind of contrast of the warm with the cool, and I love incorporating warm and cool tones in my makeup look. In case you guys are curious, today I am wearing this shade, which is Royal Highness, packed all over my lid. I have Crown on the inner corner. I have Princess kind of blended into the crease, and then I further deepened up the outer corner with Duchess. I love the versatility of this palette. I do think if you are of a dark skin tone, I know Colored Raine is owned by an African American woman, which is so amazing. So this palette is meant for dark chocolate skin. I absolutely love supporting companies like that because you're getting a beautiful range of colors that aren't specifically only geared towards lighter skin. Not that lighter skin tones can't make this palette work, because let's be honest, this is a beautiful range of colors no matter what your skin tone is, but I absolutely I love it. I love that I can use every single color in this palette. The quality of every single one, with the exception of Ladyship, is stellar. I do love the packaging. I love that it's very sleek, easy to travel with, but it still feels nice and sturdy. It doesn't feel cheap or lightweight, especially given that this is still a $50 palette, which is right in line with any high-end palette like Urban Decay, Too Faced. I still think that the quality of these shadows definitely holds their own. They are just as good, if not better, than any Urban Decay shadow I've tried, especially from the products that Urban Decay has been releasing recently. This is better. This is amazing. Just a couple of housekeeping things before we wrap this video up. This palette is made in the USA, so if that's important to you guys, this is a good one. All of the shades in this palette are vegan, with the exception of Ladyship, which is that shade that I told you I'm not super crazy about. All of the other ones perform beautifully. All of the other ones are vegan. Each of these shadows holds 1.5 grams of product, which is exactly the same as a full-size single MAC eyeshadow, which means in 12 pans you are getting 17.5 grams total, which means that you are paying $2.86 per gram of product in this palette, which is right in line with most of the high-end eyeshadow palettes like the Urban Decay Naked palette or something like that. It's not a complete and total steal, but it's also not a ripoff by any means. You're getting a very good amount of product for the price. The quality is absolutely amazing. Everything that I would would ever want. This is definitely going to be one of my go-to eyeshadow palettes. I love it. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have tried out this eyeshadow palette or if you've tried the colored Raine single shadows, because now that I've tried this palette out, I am kind of curious to try some of their singles. I know I need more eyeshadow, like I need a hole in the head, but the quality of this palette was so superb. I am very curious about their singles. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next video on Thursday. I will see you then. Bye! To discuss, and that is the new Dyson Supersonic hair dryer. The packaging of them looks like they look very similar to the Jeffree Star or the Dose of Color.